What's the starting point of a design process?
So the starting point for me is always, I try to do a little deeper dive into how the client wants to use their home. Like,
okay.
What's their house lacking for them? Or what's these rooms lacking for them? How do they live in that space? How do they want to live in that space?
More about function at the beginning.
I always start with function. Function first.
Okay.
And then, you go for, making it look attractive.
Okay.
So, how do you sit on your furniture? Are you let's be real. Are you just watching TV in that room?
Right.
And if you are, then let's set the room up to watch TV.
Okay.
Or if it's a kitchen, let's talk about, are you cooking? Are you just opening things and heating them in the microwave? And so we do a really deep dive into how you're going to use your rooms and how you live in your space, how your family lives in the space. And, are you always using a coaster, or are you just going to set your drinks out? Or, are you eating in the family room?
So this is a full-on, I need to know how you're living before I start putting patterns and colors and wallpaper.
All of that. That's all secondary to me. So I really want to make your home work for you.
Okay.
Because we spend a lot of time in our home.
Yeah, and now more than ever.
Yes, and unfortunately now more than ever.
Yeah.
And in the rooms that are really critical, your kitchen, your family room, your primary, your primary rooms where you sleep, where you bathe. I mean, those are really important rooms.
If you bathe, we're not judging you. We're not judging you.
Bathe, or you shower, or you do both.
I don't know. Okay.
But we're very, I always say we're very non-judgmental. Let's just put it out there. And talk to us about how you want that space to work for you. And so that's always my jumping off point. And then once I feel like, do we have proper egress? Do we have, the proper seating arrangement that works for how you're going to use the space? Then we go and we start putting in the rug, the furniture pieces. And usually I'll start with a color palette.
Okay, start with that. Give me an idea.
Yeah, so the lady the client that was here today, when she did her design kickoff meeting, we did a palette in kind of blues and whites, and they were crisp and fresh. And then I also did more of that natural black, white, beiges, bourbon tones. And it was kind of funny because she told me in the beginning, I want blue and white. And that was her thing.
Okay.
And then we did the kickoff meeting, and she saw both, and she kind of thought about it, and she thought about, I don't know, I think she thought about really kind of how her home felt as well.
And adding in those colors, there's so much more dimension to that versus just a static blue-white.
Blue-white.
And most people just, I get that, okay.
And so by the end of the meeting, she was kind of like, I think I'm really feeling the black, white, and bourbon thing. And then I started showing her pictures of what I thought that would look like, some inspiration photos.
Okay.
And during that first kickoff meeting, she kind of totally changed her vibe. And I was kind of surprised because sometimes they'll circle back.
Okay.
And, we do a little touch base before we continue on any further. And she's like, no, I totally love that.
The direction that you're going, the colors, the additional colors she didn't think
about. And it actually suited the house better.
Okay.
And anyway, that's what we ended up doing. I think it's totally the right direction. I think it'll be very much fashion forward. I honestly think it'll suit the style of her style and her house. I mean, there's been many times where I've loved to look in my clients' closets.
I think I remember you saying something about that before too. Like the colors that they like or they wear the most, they feel the most comfortable in, they'll probably feel the most comfortable in their house. Yeah,
we had another client the other day, like she's dying to put color in her house.
Aww.
She's just dying to do it, but she's afraid to do it. And I finally was like, what's the psychological background of that?
Okay.
Do you really want color or you don't want color?
Okay.
And so I asked her, I said, well, what do you wear every day? Okay, so 7 days a week, is your wardrobe black and white?
Yeah.
Black and beige, all black? And pretty much it was almost all black. So I said, so when you on vacation, what are you wearing? She goes, well, I might go on a limb and wear color.
Okay.
So that tells me a lot about her. She's not, I don't think I'm doing a, blush pink and,
Got it. You're not going to...
living room for her.
You're not going to push her outside of what is comfortable for her that she will gravitate to.
Yeah, because I think naturally that's what she's happy with.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, my favorite color palette is black and white.
Yeah. I love a good black, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can do a lot with it.
Yeah.
if
can
that's
layer
what you
it.
want.
It can be a good foundation. So, okay, so I meant to go to other questions because I really have other questions lined up, but I want to stay here for a second. You found the color palette and you have decided, okay, this is the color palette that the client has approved. We've run this by them. It looks like we're going in the right direction. Where do you go? You start making selections?
We start making selections, and we start taking that project into what I call the final design aspect.
Do you start with anything in particular? Do you start with the wallpaper? Do you start with the rug?
Not necessarily. It depends on the room and the space.
Okay.
This particular job was a breakfast room, sunroom, family room, and kitchen. So we were doing a kitchen renovation. So I probably started with the kitchen because that's the most expensive room in the house. And we did a black island. We did black base cabinets. We did white uppers, and then on her
black island, black base cabinets,
black base cabinets, white upper cabinets.
Okay.
But then on this one back wall, I did that all white.
Ooh. And so do you normally start with the cabinets? Do you start with the backsplash? Do you start with lighting?
That was sort of my jumping off point. And then I kind of did the countertops. I do the tile work. And then I jump into the family room, which typically you have an open concept right now.
And I'd imagine that you're going to reintroduce the black and white to some degree without it being too matchy-matchy.
Right. And then bring in those warmer tones and bring in some pattern, some texture.
Okay.